Hey, more dummies. Hope you're well. I hope you're keeping safe and you're trying to enjoy your time in your homes, because we're spending much more time. So welcome to DHARMA. If you haven't had a look at the comments on the channel, if you're going to use some props today, you can use your blocks. You're going to, oops, let me just close this because I can hear myself talking. You're going to use you can use your blocks, you can use any cans instead of blocks, you can use straps if you've got straps, or you can use a belt of a bathroom, anything. You don't have to have props, they're nice to have if you're working with any variations. And if you have a more advanced practice, you can play with it as we work with it. Practice safely. Any injuries, be kind to the body. So kindness is a key to opening up the body. And if you are new to practice and you're pregnant and you haven't practiced this style of yoga before and you're in a first trimester, that you should wait till your second trimester and do a pregnancy class instead. So when you're ready, come to your comfortable seated position. I'm on my knees. You can sit on your block to keep the hips elevated. You can lean against a wall. So you're in your comfortable position. If you have any pets, you might be able to see my little puppy here. She's a year old. Leave them in the room, but just make sure when you practice you're not going to injure them. Come to your comfortable seated position, close the eyes, and from here you're going to find the spiritual heart. It's over on the right side of the heart. And see if you can go deep within that space. There's a space about the size of your thumbnail, and that houses the spiritual heart. There's a light, it's like a candle flame connecting into that light. You're slowing the breath down. Make it really gentle, only through the nose, and you're connecting to the light at the same time. If you have a mantra that you use in your meditation, an affirmation, you can bring it to your mind now. The mantra is always repeated mentally. But if you haven't, you can repeat the hum sa mantra mentally. If the mind starts to talk to you in your meditation, you can bring the hands onto either knee, palms are facing upwards. And we gently, as we repeat the mantra, we open and close the hands very softly like the lungs. So we're breathing in and out through the hands. So hum, sa, so, hum, so, hum, hum, sa. Hum, sa, so, hum, so, hum, hum, sa. I'm you, you or me. Breath is gentle, very relaxed. Spine straight. And the neck and shoulders are soft. This hum sa mantra, I can always send you, but I can give you the words, but it's just repeated phonetically and mentally, always mentally, and the focus is on the heart. You can find this on if you Google, you can find the hum sa mantra. And ideally in your meditation, you'd stay here for a few minutes, as long as you can. It's always nice to start your day with some meditation. And if you have time before any practice, so meditation gets the body ready and the mind, so the two are in parallel ready for your practice. If you're using the hands to repeat the mantra, if the mind stops talking to you and the mind's quiet, you can bring the hands into the lap. And we're going to slowly release. We only have an hour for class. You can always use the meditation can be done any time of the day, but ideally you start your day and end the day with some meditation. It's nice. And then from here, let's warm up the body for practice. We'll work with Kapalabhati breathing. the breath of fire. So the belly's going to move in and out. I normally encourage you to pull the stomach into the back and keep the core engaged, but you're going to relax the stomach, keep the spine straight. You're going to pump the breath through the nose. It makes a sound like a train, I suppose. So it makes this sound here with the nose. You're pumping the breath out. Don't worry about the inhale. It's going to happen automatically. It's just the exhale. So you're making this sound here. And the belly's moving in and out through, the belly's moving in and out as you pump the breath. Let's fill the lungs up. And then empty the lungs. Fill them up. And then empty them. One more time, fill them up. And then empty them. And then next inhale, fill them up, and we pump the breath through the nose and the belly moves at the same time. Keep the body static. Empty the lungs. And then fill them up, almost full. Leave a small gap like filling up a balloon. And then from here, apply 2 bandhas. The Mula bandha, clench your area near the perineum. It's like as if you need to use the bathroom, there's not one around, so you clench that area there. And then you bring the chin to the chest, apply the Jala bandha. And we retain the breath here. And then you're going to slowly release. Second round, you can either go at the same pace or a little faster. If your blood pressure is irregular, just go back to your meditation for the next 2 rounds. Filling the lungs up. And then let's go a little faster if it's right for you. Exhale all of the air out. Then fill the lungs up. Apply the Mula bandha and the Jala bandha. And from here, set your intentions for this evening's practice. You're going to think of the class as a moving flow meditation. You're going to set the intention to challenge yourself, but work safely. Any injuries, you can modify your practice. You're always kind to the body. And if you can, you're going to have some fun with the practice. Have a lightness to it. The being safe and practicing with fun go hand in hand. And then slowly release those intentions. Next inhale, fill the lungs up. And final round. Either go at the same pace as you did at the first round or a little faster. Exhale all of the air out off the lungs and then fill them up, applying the 2 bandhas, the Mula bandha and the Jala bandha. From here you're going to make your offering, bring to your mind someone or something that's going to benefit from your practice this evening. You're thinking of the class as a devotional class, as a back to yoga class. And when you've chosen someone that's special to you or something that's special to you, hold them in your mind and devote your practice to that person or that thing. And then you're going to release the offering. And from here, we're going to bring the hands to the heart center. We're going to work with the DHARMA mantra for purification to purify the space around you. For a really safe practice, I can always send you the mantra afterwards. Don't Google this mantra. It comes to you when it's ready, DHARMA always says. So don't find out the meaning behind it. It will come to you. So just call and response. Bring the hands to the heart center. It's a very short mantra. Om Apavitra Hapaditra Wa. Om Apavitra Hapaditra Wa. Sawa Vashtanga Topi Wa. Sawa Vashtanga Topi Wa. Yaha Sarik Fan Rikang Shang. Yaha Sarik Fan Rikang Shang. Sabaya Vientra Sajihi. Sabaya Vientra Sajihi. We'll do it all together in one go. Om Apavitra Paditra Wa Sawa Vashtanga Topi Wa Yaha Sarik Van Rikang Shang Sabaya Vientra Sajihi. Om. Gently open the eyes. And when you're ready, if you have any pets in your house, just allow them to be near you. They'll probably they'll be interested in a few sniffs, and then they go and they find their own place. So just practice safely. Don't squash them. Don't injure them. And again, be kind to the body. If you've got any injuries, just modify the practice. Bring the feet together. They're lightly touching. Bring the arms up. The drishti, that point of focus, looks up to the ceiling. Now we engage the core by pulling the stomach lightly to the back. Then from here, arms to the side if the back is a little tight, or bring the hands together. You can even put the hands into a mudra called Kali Mudra, where you interlace the fingers, index fingers touch, and we bring the drishti to look up, hands are in the mudra, and then we take a stretch to one side. We hold it here for a few breaths. So we're breathing in and out through the nose, we're not retaining the breath. Then back to the middle, and then slowly to the other side. And then we go back to the middle. We take a little back bend to release the back, pull the stomach into the back. And then we fold forward. In your back bend, you should always be able to breathe, And then from here, bend and straighten the knees and release the back. And hopefully, even if you're working at home, you've moved around a little bit today. Unless you work in the evening, if you've just woken up, be kind to the body. And then from here, right foot back, knee on the floor, back foot flat. From here, we're going into Anjaneyasana. The front knee's over the ankle. And then from here, this foot is away from the hip. So you get a nice stretch in the groin and the hip flexor. Bring the arms up into Anjaneyasana and move the shoulders around. Then from here, you can bend the arms, keep them close to the ears. And we're going to release the shoulders a little bit. So release the left arm and find the right fingertips. And then this asana is called Gomukhasana. If you struggle with the bind, release the top arm. Find the elbow and gently walk it up the back, and then you should be able to reach for the fingers slightly more easily, or hold your t-shirt lightly. Take a deeper lunge, or come up on back knee, back toes, and release the hip this way. Not too high, about an inch off the floor. And then we bring the hands down inside the front foot. We walk the front foot out to the edge of the mat. Then from here, hands in line with the heel of the foot. And then we go into Utthana Prasthana, lizard. Both hands are inside, we're rocking backwards and forwards to open up the hip flexor. And then from here, we bring the outside elbow down first, and then the inside elbow. If the inside elbow doesn't want to go down, hold the foot. If the outside elbow doesn't want to go down, stay rocking. So this is better than using these things here, because, in my opinion, because this will activate the hip. And this rocking motion opens up the hip. Go slowly, elbows down. If you've got a deeper practice, you can make a pillow with the hands and bring the head down. You can even lift the foot up and put the forearm underneath. And then we slowly release, hands to either side of the front foot. And then from here, the head's over the shoulders. And we take some circular movements just to warm up the back. Big or small movements. If you've been moving all day, you might want to take some big movements in the back. This warms up the back and the shoulders. And then in the other direction, anti-clockwise. And then from here, heads over the shoulders. We do our cat-cows. We're moving expressly for the cat-cows. The arms are shoulders width apart. From here, head over the shoulders. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And then from here, let's warm up the wrist. Turn the right hand around. Leave the left hand exactly where it is. The fingers face towards you with the right hand. 3 times. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Remember, if this isn't right, modify your practice. Bring the right hand back to the original position, turn the left hand around. The hands are in line with each other. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. From here, turn both hands around, the fingers face in towards each other, heads over the shoulders 3 times. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale and exhale. Turn both hands around, the fingers face towards the knees. And then from here 3 times. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale and exhale. Front of the hands down. And the weight's not just in the wrists, it's in the whole of the arm. A slight bend in the arm's okay. And you can feel it in the shoulders as well. 3 times. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Let's stretch the back of the feet from here. So from here we come up into the toes and stretch the back of the feet here, the plantar fascia. If this isn't right for you, bring the feet flat on the floor. Bring the forearms together and we start to move the wrist around here. So we're all working from home. At the moment we're using our laptops and our phones so much more, so we can release the wrist during the day like this. And when you work with your inversions, if the wrists are tired, you go back to this position and then take them in the opposite direction. It feels a little odd. And then from here we stretch the fingers, make them more malleable. Take a big stretch here. Take the drishti up, stretch the fingers. Lift up through the pelvis, take a stretch to one side. Back to the middle, and then to the other side. And then shake everything out. Then from here, go into your extended child's pose. So from here, sit back onto the heels and walk the fingertips forward. If the back is a little tight this evening, come up into the fingertips and keep the hips off the heels. And if the back is okay, forearms down. So you modify your practice, don't go into pain. If I ask you to do something and it's painful, you can back out of it. If it's slightly uncomfortable, it normally means the body's stretching. Then from here we're going to Bhujangasana. So we're going to keep the body low to the mat. The head's not touching the mat, slightly off the mat. The knees and the feet stay where they are. The forearms stay where they are. They're parallel. And then from here we slide forward. Works just in the back. When the head reaches the hands, we go into our Bhujangasana and drop the shoulders. Sit back into your extended child's. And then we slide forward. And then one more time, sit back into your extended child's. And then we slide forward. And then from here you can play with this. I'm not going to do this evening because I've injured my left knee because kneeling so much on Zoom. But you can walk the hands in towards the hips. And then from here, pelvis down on the mat. Apart from the guys, that might be a little uncomfortable, you know why. And then from here you can bring the feet up. And then you bring the head to meet the feet and work with elements of your King Cobra. I'm not going to do that because I've got a little injury on my left knee, so I don't want to antagonise it. So practice safely. And then from here, bringing the feet and the head together. And then we slowly release. If you're working, if my cue is a little fast for you, you can always slow it down and come into the next asana after you finish that. And then from here, we come into our downward facing dog. In Dharma, we have the arms hugging in towards the ears and the feet are together if the back is okay. Or hips width apart if the back is tight. And it doesn't matter if you're up on the tiptoes. And it doesn't matter if there's a slight bend in the knees because that normally means you're protecting the back. And then from here, if you want to bring the head to the floor, take it there. And then from here, just move the knees around to release the back if it needs releasing. We take the right leg up. It's active. We bend the knee a few times just to open up the hip. And then we leave it static and take it towards the opposite glute. We're looking underneath the left armpit. And then we step that right foot forward. Bring the back knee down. Cushion, if needs cushioning. You can always put a towel underneath there, especially if you're wearing shorts. You want to cushion it if it's sore. Only cushion it if it's sore. Front knee's over the ankle. This foot is away from the hip. Bring the arms up and move the shoulders around this way. You can bend the arms. You can go into Gomakasana again to release the left arm and find the right fingertips. Or if you want to play with it a little deeper, you can pick up the back foot slowly. Hold it here. See how that feels. Or you can bring this front hand around and you can hold the foot this way. And take the arm out. Or you can bring the hand into the crease of the elbow this way. And if you have straps, you could start to use your straps. So I've got an injury to my knee. I'm going to put this flannel underneath the knee and that will give it some more cushioning. So I'm not going into pain. It's not a good idea. Then from here, foot goes into the strap. You can use the belt off a bathrobe if you haven't got a strap. And you'll open out the shoulders this way. If your shoulders are more open, you can reach back for the foot. You're not throwing the head back. Let the back do the work. And you want to open the shoulders here. If your back is open, shoulders tight, you're using a bigger strap. Then slowly release. And then from here, you're going to sit back into your Ardha Hanuman. And you're going to fold forward, come up on the back toes. Or if the hamstring's tight, just bring the hands back as a break and keep the back foot flat. And then from here, if you're on a wooden floor, you can use something like a sock, put it underneath the heel, and you take the foot off the mat, especially if it's that anti-slip mat. If you've got blocks or two books of the same height, you could use blocks or or 2 books. If you haven't got that, don't worry. You can just use what you have at home. We improvise. You can bring the hands to the heart center. So you don't need it. If you have them, it's great. If you don't, we just improvise. If you want to open up the shoulders, you can bring them behind in reverse prep. If you have a full split, you're going to fold forward. If you've got something like a book, put it underneath the front heel. If you've completely in split, or you fold forward. This is the best time to open our hamstrings. And then we slide it in. Then from here, adjust the foot by the toe or the ankle. We're going to go into Ekapada Raja Kapotasana. Take the foot across the mat. And then from here, it's across. And then from here, if this right hip's off the floor, you might want to think about putting a book underneath it, or a block or a cushion. You don't want it high off the floor. You're folding forward here. So if you practice yin, this is called sleeping swan. Or if you're going to come up into a fuller pose, if the hip's off the floor, you need to support it. Otherwise, you're going to wobble and you could injure yourself. And then from here, you've got the same choices. You can put the foot into the crease of the elbow, like this. You can, this is called Dharma Kapotasana, or use your strap. Choose what's right for you. Make sure this hip is supported. Otherwise, try and hook the foot, you're going to lean over. You don't want to injure yourself. And then you slowly, you're going to release when you're ready. So we open the body with kindness. And then from here, we're going to go into our standing split. I'm going to give you lots of options. So if you're new to handstand, you're going to stay in a standing split. And then from here, you're on the right side. So you hold the thigh, left fingertips on the floor, and we get used to the heart working upside down. It's quite challenging. It's very cardiovascular. The left leg's up, and we're stretching the hamstring. If you're not so new, you can hold the ankle, or you can bring the both hands down and bring the hands up into Prasarita. Both hands together. That plays with the balance. Or you can go against the wall. If you have anything on the wall, like a mirror, or you're near a window, don't practice that way. Hands no wider than the shoulders, shoulders engaged. And see if you can push up through the shoulders. That's why we did the cat-cows, to strengthen the shoulders. And then from here, don't start moving this right foot. Just come up on the tiptoes, straighten the arms, and then you bring the feet up and you point the toes. Or if you're near a wall, you can just tap and go against the wall. Keep lifting up. If you have a handstand variation, you can go into eagle legs, wrap the right around the left, and keep lifting up. And then you can change, do the other side. Or you can, there's so many options. Remember, if you've got mirrors, glass, anything on the wall, don't do this. From here you can go into a wheelbarrow, hands no wider than the shoulders, and walk the feet up the wall. You can see my room's curved here, it's a 30s house. So you just go against the wall. Make sure the wall is straight and hands no wider. Make sure the palms are down on the floor. Your breath should be gentle. I'm demonstrating and cueing at the same time, so my breath is slightly laboured. So we try to breathe through the nose. Then we slowly release. And then from here, we come into Utkatasana. Swoop the hands down on the floor, and then lift the heels up, and keep the hips off the heels. If your ankles are injured, keep the feet flat on the floor. And then we come all the way up past Uttanasana. Move the shoulders around. And then from here we fold forward. Bend the knees as much as you need to protect the back. Back tight, reach to the elbows. Back moderate, hook the big toes, take the elbows out. Back super open, lift the feet up, set the palms underneath the feet. Or you fold it all in half and reach for the ankles. Choose what's right for you. Then we release, bring the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers, bring the arms over the head, Prasarita. If the back feels more open, you can turn the palms to the ceiling and just release the shoulders that way. And then we slowly release, hands down to either side of the front foot. Let's do the left side, left foot back, knee on the floor, cushion the back knee. Remember, something like flannel or a towel will protect the knee. You don't want to go into pain. This front foot is the front foot's the knees over the ankle. Nice deep stretch here in the groin and the hip flexor. Bring the arms up and we start to move the shoulders around. Think arms close to the ears and shoulders really close to the ears, and gently moving this rolling motion will open up the shoulders. Bending the arms, you can play with your back then, make sure you can breathe. Play this way, or any variations, but practice safely. If you're going into Gomakasana, you're releasing the right arm. See if you can bring it around and see if you can find the left fingertips. Walk the hand up the back and find the fingertips that way. Or remember, you can release the top arm, help the elbow gently up the back. And go into Gomakasana. Again, you've got the option to come up on back knee, back toes, or take a deeper lunge. This knee's injured for me, so I'm not going to come up on back knee, back toes on this side. I'm still getting the benefits because I'm taking a deeper lunge. Bring the hands down inside the front foot. And then from here, this front foot, walk it out to the edge of the mat, back into Uttanasana Prasthasana. The wrists are in line with the heel of the foot, rock backwards and forwards, and that opens up the hip. Take your time, stay low to the mat. And then you can play with the variations. You can bring the elbows down, both together if the hips are open. Remember, this outside elbow has to come down first. And if it doesn't want to come down, stay rocking here. This is a nice way to open up the hips. And then you can play with it. You can make a pillow, you can bring the whole of the torso down, and you can bring the torso down this way, take the arms out, or take a bind. My hips are tight, so I'm just going to do the pillow. Choose what's right for you. Front foot's flat, ideally. And if the inside elbow's down and the outside isn't, just hold the foot. And then we slowly release. And then from here, bring the hands to either side of the shoulders. And then from here, two choices. We can do what we did on the right side, sit back into extended child's pose and slide forward into our Bhujangasana. Or we can take it a little deeper, Ashtanga Namaskara. Knees, chest and chin. Arms close to the side, butt up high in the ear. And then slowly come into your Bhujangasana. Should be able to breathe in it. Knees, chest and chin. And then your Bhujangasana. And then we drop the shoulders, walk the hands in. And then from here, bring the feet towards the head, work with elements of your King Cobra. If your back is tight, then take the legs wider. Or if your back is injured, you're just going to stay in simple Bhujangasana. And then we slowly release, take your time. And then from here, we come into our down dog, pedal out the feet, move the back around if the back is tight. Left leg up. It's active, bend and straighten the knee a few times just to open up the hip a bit more. And then leave it static, look underneath the right armpit. Then we take the knee into the chest and we step that left foot forward. And then from here, bring the arms up and we start to move the shoulders around. Anjanasana. This front knee's over the ankle. Then you can play with the variations. You either go into Gomakasana again, release the right arm, find the left fingertips, or you pick up the back foot. Now from here, slowly pick up the back foot. If you're using a strap and you want to use a strap here, the foot goes into the strap, and then from here you turn the arms around. You want to keep them close to the ears. You don't want to be pulling forward. You're opening up the shoulders. Remember, open backs and tight shoulders use a bigger strap. And the objective is to catch the foot. Don't start flinging the neck back. Let the back do the work. Or you pick it up, you take it into the hip this way, take this arm out here, just get used to it this way, or pick up the foot, take the bind the other way, or into the crease of the elbow like carrying a bag, arm up, and go into DHARMA Kapotasana. Take your time, then slowly release, and then from here sit back into your Ardha Hanuman. Hamstrings, normally one side's more open than the other. That's perfectly normal. So you're folding forward if the hamstring's open on this side, or sitting back a little bit. Practice kindly. This is a good time to practice your splits, as I said, because evenings, hopefully you've been moving around. Just walk this right knee slightly forward, and then take the left foot on the floor and slide it forward. Thick carpet, don't slide too much, you'll take the pile off the carpet. Hands into prayer, into reverse prayer. Use your blocks. You've got a fuller practice. Even though my knee's sore here, this side's more open. I can bend the knee, I can slide it forward. I keep the back knee down, I come up on the back toes, I stretch the hamstring this way. If you've got a full practice, you can stay in your split, you can fold forward, any variations. You can even go into DHARMA Kapotasana if you're comfortable in your full split. Make sure the hips are down. Then we slide it in. Then you want to take the foot across the mat, and we go into our DHARMA, into our Sleeping Swan, Ekapada Raja Kapotasana, the first stage of it. In Yang it's called Ekapada Raja Kapotasana. This hip is slightly off the floor. If I'm going to come up, if I'm lying down like this, I don't need to put anything underneath it because it's almost down on the floor. But coming up, I need to support it. This block is a little too thick. I need a slightly thinner block, but I'll just use it. Then from here, I can use a strap here if I want to. If you've got one, elbows in, open up the shoulders this way. Or take the foot into the crease of the elbow. And then from here, arm up and go into DHARMA Kapotasana. Whatever works for you. We're not going into pain. And then we're going to slowly release. So if your hip's tight, this foot will go towards the right thigh. It's perfectly normal. And then from here, slowly release. We come into our standing split. Take your time. So we have a stronger side, a less strong side. I never call it a weak side. In class, it's our less strong side. So you build up strength here. Stay in a standing split here, holding the ankle, right fingertips on the floor, hands no wider than the shoulders. You can take some baby hops here. You don't have to come all the way up. Just take some little hops like this to get used to the body being upside down. Hands flat on the floor, shoulders engaged. And then from here, if you're playing, you bring the legs up, point the toes. If you've got Padmasana or Lotus, go into your Lotus. You can even try Butterfly if you haven't. If you want to play with your splits, play with your splits. If you're near a wall, just tap the feet like this. Or choose what's right for your personal practice. What's right for me now, because I've been practicing my handstands since I was a kid. I'm used to it, so you take your time. And the handstands are not going anywhere fast, so you practice safely. And whatever you're doing, make sure you're not against a mirror or a glass wall. And you'll have that option to turn around. So feet flat on the wall, and you're like a wheelbarrow, like we used to do when we were in school. And then we slowly release. If your mat's on carpet, it will move slightly, you can adjust it. And remember, if you've got pets, just make sure they're in a safe space. Leave them in the room, don't take them out. And then from here we slowly release, come into Utkatasana. Keep the heels up if there's no ankle issues. Then come all the way up and move the shoulders around. And take a little back bend, Hasta Uttanasana. Pull the stomach in the back. And then we release, hands in Pranamasana. And reground yourself. We go back to whoever we offered our practice to. Then from here, keep the right foot forward. We're going to set the left foot back. We're going to go into Virmudrasana 2. We're looking towards our right middle finger. Lower the arms down. The ankles are in line with each other. The back foot's turning in. If it's injured, you're going to keep it off the floor. Bend the right knee. Drishti's looking, that point of focus looking towards your right middle finger. Let's open up the shoulders. Wrap the right arm around the left. Take the arms away from the face. Then from here you can come up on the tiptoes. And that will release the back, but don't come up if you've got ankle issues. Staying here. If you were to look down, you can see whatever you're wearing. So pull in the rib cage if you can't. Then release the arms. Go back into Virmudrasana 2. Bring the right hand down. And if you've got a block and the hand's not down, use it. Or a book. Bring the shoulder back. Then you bring the arm over the head. And then from here, you can take a bind. If you drop this inside hand, drop it down, feed it through. And then from here, you're reaching for the fingers, the wrist or the forearm. Bring the shoulder back. You're looking over the opposite shoulder. So keep bringing it back. And remember, you should always be able to breathe in any of your binds and twists. In anything you're doing. Nice, comfortable breath. Slowly release. Go back into Virmudrasana 2. Turn that right palm to the ceiling. And then from here, we take a reverse warrior. Back hand to the outside thigh. If the back's a little tight. Or bring it round to the inside thigh. Look underneath the top hand. Back into Virmudrasana 2. Bring the hands to the heart center. Turn on the left toes and we twist. Pardita, Parsvakotasana. Look over the opposite shoulder. Staying here, it's a nice twist for the internal organs. Or we try to drop this shoulder below the knee and then we feed this inside hand through the leg and take a bind. Or we bring the knee down. We bring the foot in and we try a bind from here. This shoulder, if it's this height to bind here, it's going to be very uncomfortable. Drop it down. And then from here, feed the hand through. And then you should be able to take the bind more easily if you're working with it. Look over the opposite shoulder. And then slowly release. We go back into Virmudrasana 2. Turn the palm to the ceiling. This right palm, take a reverse warrior. We slowly release. Back into 2. We're going to work with half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana. So from here, leave the right foot where it is. If you've got a block, you can use your block. But if you want to play with the balance today, we can bring the fingertips slightly off the floor. We're working with Ardha Chandrasana half moon pose. We start to look to the side. Hand goes down onto the floor if we're losing the balance, like this. Or keep it off the floor. Flex the feet first. Then you can point the toes. You're staying here, top arm active. Only if it's right for you, can start to bend the knee. You can reach for the ankle or the top of the toes. And then from here, stay here, look up a little bit. bring the hand down on the floor if you're losing the balance. And then from here, drishti looks forward. Take the knee up, the hand up, and the leg up, and go into your dancer. Slow it down if you're just going into it. Take your time. Hopefully your breath is much slower, calmer than mine. This is what happens when you talk and you practice. Or if you stop breathing through the mouth, your breath is a bit like mine. And that's not ideal because you're going to panic mode in your yoga practice. Then you're going to slowly release. From here, I'll face you. Bring the feet together. And we're going to try it here. It's like bend the knees. Bring the right hand or right thigh. You've got options here. Then from here, pick up the left ankle or the front of the foot. Thighs close together. They can rub. And then from here, don't start moving this right hand yet. Keep bringing the leg up, leg up, leg up. Keep looking forward rather than down. And then from here, once you can't bring the leg up anymore, then you can go into your dancer this way. Or you can play with a bind here if you want to. So from here, with this right hand, you reach back. Remember, if the thighs are wide, it's going to be very uncomfortable. From here, you can reach for the left foot here. And then from here, take the foot into the crease of the elbow, arm over the head, and we take our bind. It's uncomfortable. It should never be painful. If you're going to use a strap, remember, if the back is open, the shoulders are tight, you need a bigger strap. These straps have got some elastic. And if you're buying straps and you try, I would get small or medium. I wouldn't get super large ones because eventually the shoulders open up and you're moving the shoulders around. But use what you've got at home for the time being and open up the shoulders this way, if you can see. Just keeping the arms close to the ears, keep the arms close to the ears. If you're playing with a full practice catching the foot, keep looking forward, walk the hands down the strap to catch the foot. And then slowly, we're going to release, we're going to go back into Virmadrasana 2. We shouldn't need to release the back here, so we're looking towards the right middle finger. And then from here, bring the hands to the heart center. We're going to go into Skandasana to open up the thighs and the hips a little bit more. From here, we're going to go over to the right side. And then from here, torso's upright. If the back is tight, bring the hands down. Left heel can come off the floor, or you can sit all the way down if the hips are open. Or keep the hands in prayer if the back is more open. Slowly go over to the left side, staying low to the mat if you can. Right heel off the floor, if it's right for you, or hands down. Then over to the right side. Any clicking in the joints, normally it's in the joints, but be kind. You can stay a little higher if it's not for you. Over to the left, and then go back towards the right. And then from here, slowly, we turn the feet in, we come up, hands on the hips, pull the stomach into the back to protect the back. Hands onto the thighs and release the back. If your back is open, bring the feet in closer together, hands go on the thighs and release the back. And if you work with your drop backs and you prefer to be at the front of the mat, you can do. If you've got low blood pressure, you come up and down slowly. So take your time, hands on the hips, and work with elements of your drop back. Any disc injuries, be kind to the body. I'm just checking that we're still connected. Very nice. And then from here, just release the back this way. And then when you're ready, take your time. Feet are pointing inwards to protect the hip bone. We're folding forward. You can reach for the ankles, the big toes, the head's going towards the floor. And relax the neck here. You can walk the hands through the legs. If you've got a safe headstand, you're going to go into your headstand, your tripod headstand. From the corner of your eyes, you can see the fingers in your tripod headstand. And there's no jumping whatsoever in your headstand at all. You don't want to jump. So take your time. If you've got a wide leg pincher, you can go into your wide leg pincher, and then you can go into your headstand. Take your time. I'll show you elements of the headstand and pincher in a moment. Stay in that forward fold, reach to the ankles, or walk the hands through the legs if you're not in your headstand from this position. And then if you're in a headstand, you're going to take your time to finish off any variations you're doing. You're not rushing out. The exit is as important as the entry in your headstand. From here, if you're not, interlace the fingers, and we go into Prasarita, bringing the arms overhead, turn the palms to the ceiling, and release the neck. And then we turn the right foot forward, and we go into our humble warrior, and bring the head down. You can bring the head all the way through, and bring the arms over to release the back. Bring the hands to either side, and then we come onto the knees. Headstanders and pinchers, take your time. For those who are learning the headstand, take your time. So you go against the wall. I'm going to show you here, because if I go against the wall, my wall's curved, you're not going to see what's going on here. crown of the head has to be down on the floor. If your hair's tied up, then you want to loosen it slightly. And if you've got clips and stuff, you want to loosen the clips, otherwise it's going to be uncomfortable on the top of the head. You're thinking crown of the head down on the floor, corner of the eyes, I can see the fingertips. From this position, it's going to be easier. So from here, you can see the fingers. So you walk them back towards the knees. You make a shelf, elbows in. So don't take them out like this, in. And then walk in like a downward facing dog. So you're in this position here. Get used to the head being here. You can stay here, or you can walk the feet in, one knee onto the shelf. See how that feels. Other knee on the shelf if that's right for you. Legs up. If you're here and you're comfortable, then you can try eagle legs, wrap the right around the left, go over to the left side and bring the head up. This is if you're holding your headstand. If you're not there yet, you will be soon. So you can just stay here. Now, if you're coming down from here, you have choices. Back onto the shelf like this, or if your legs are long like mine, just bring it down and come down. The exit is as important as the entry in your headstand. There's no jumping. Our handstand, our forearm balance, we can take a little hop. Our headstand we don't. We don't want to mash up the neck. I'll give you a minute or so just to finish that off. Take your time. Remember, crown of the head stand on the floor, and you can always go against the wall and you bring the head right up to the skirting board and try it there. Take your time. And then you're going to slowly release. We're going to work with our pincher practice. I'll give you 2 ways to work with your pincher. So sit back first and go into your child's pose. Keep the hands to the sides, and then just make a little gentle fist and massage either side of the spine, not on top of the spine, either side. And that will release the back when you come out of your headstand if you need to. And then from here you can work with your pincher. Again, you can go against a wall like the handstand. So I'll show you away from the wall so you know what's going on here, and then it's your choice. And you can work with dolphin, so we're building strength in the shoulders here. You don't want to have the shoulders too wide, so you can cross the thumbs, palms down on the floor like this. And then from here, there, cross, elbows in. You don't want to have the elbows too wide, you're going to mash up the back. If they're too wide, it's going to be really uncomfortable for the back. Elbows in. And then from here, you can go into your dolphin, rock backwards and forwards. The thumbs are gently crossed, and then you can take the legs up and you can go into your pincher this way. Or your dolphin, rocking backwards and forwards. I teach pincher this way, where if you come to my classes, it looks slightly more advanced. You're going to bring the hands into prayer. I suppose it is, but it's really nice on the shoulders. And then it's not a deep gripping for life prayer. It's simple prayer. Baby fingers are on the floor, hands in simple prayer, elbows are in. Because what this is going to do, it's going to lift up through the shoulders. Then from here you can rock backwards and forwards into the dolphin, or you can walk the feet in and legs up and you can play. And it's so nice on the shoulders. You can split the legs, you can stack them, whatever's right for you. You can even go into your eagle leg and go here. And then you're slowly coming down. Take your time. And if this is all too easy for you, challenge yourself. You can go into one arm. Whichever hand you're working, just try one side today. Right hand, let's just, because I've got my right hand here. The right hand straight, lined up against the mat. The left hand is no wider than my shoulder. Line it up with a crease. And then from here you walk in, and then take the leg up, and then you can come into your one-handed and stay here. And then you can bring the hand down and play. So you have choices. Once you get the pincher, everything becomes easy. I'm just checking that we're still connected. My internet was playing up. Yeah, we are. Take your time. And the way I teach, you can practice some of this yourself at home. Loki, stay there. Nice. Oh, Loki, don't do puppy stretch yet. We're going to do puppy stretch in a moment. Yeah. If you've got puppy dogs and stuff, just let them be. Look, she's right on the mat now. We'll go. Okay. And then we're going to slowly release. And then from here, you're going to go into your plank pose. I'm going to move over a little bit. My dog's right. My pup, she's only a year-old. She likes to be on the mat here. So come into your plank pose. And then from here, bring the right hand to the middle of the mat. Your right hand's in the middle of the mat. Make sure if you've got a cat or dog and they're near you, don't step on them. Lift up through the hips, stay here. And then you lift the hips up, drop the head. You can stay here, or you can take a leg variation, top leg on the inside thigh. Or you can pick it up and you can look up. If you're stepping back into half wheel, be careful. I think I know where my dog is. I can see it there. My foot goes here. Half wheel. Full wheel, you turn the hand around, go into your full wheel. Oops, I've got a tail. It's very furry. And then I slowly come out. I'm not going to do the other side because I don't want to drop on hair. And then slowly release, come back into your plank. Take your time. Lucky dog here. Yeah, good dog. Stay there. And then from here, left hand to the middle of the mat. Same thing. And then from here, you lift up through the shoulders. So go into side plank first. Think about bringing the left foot flat on the floor, ankle on ankle, heel on heel. Lift up through the hips, drop the head, stay here, or take your leg variation. Top leg goes on the inside thigh, or pick it up and go into your Vashisthasana. Take your time. If you're stepping back into your half wheel, walk the feet in towards the hips, come up on the tiptoes so the back is tight. If you want to work with a full wheel, you keep the arm close to the ear, drop the head, and gently bring the hand down. Don't turn the hand that's on the floor until the hand that comes down on the mat. That's the key to this. Take your time. And if you don't get it today, you have a lifetime of practice. It'll come to you when it's ready. Then you're going to slowly release. And when you're ready, come back into your plank, and then slowly lower down. You're going to sit back into your extended child's pose. Or if you want a deeper stretch, my puppy normally does this with me. We're going to our puppy stretch. So you think about the arms no wider than your shoulders. And then you start to bring the hands down, chest down. And imagine the upper arms are down. And it's quite a deep stretch here. You should not be able to talk here, but you should be able to breathe. You can always use a block here. Thumbs go inside the block and squeeze it into the block. You don't want to have the arms too wide. And then from here, you're not coming into your Bhujangasana. It's too deep, even if your back is flexible. You're staying there for a few breaths. If you're in extended child's pose, then you're sliding forward, and then you can come into your cobra. Puppy stretch, you're coming out, and then from here you come into your downward facing dog and pedal out the feet. And then from here, step the left foot forward, go into Virmadrasana 2. Let's do the other side. Lower the arms down, ankles in one line with each other. Drishti looking towards the left middle finger. Wrapping the arms around, left arm this time around the right, look towards your thumbs. Take the arms away from the face to release the arms. Then from here come up on the tiptoes and release the back. Ankles down, feet down if the ankles are injured. And this releases the back coming up on the tiptoes. Unwrap the arms, go back into Virmadrasana 2. Bring the left hand down, bring the arm back, 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 back. And then you can bring the arm over the head. If you're taking the bind, you have to drop the shoulder down. And then from here, reach for the hand, or the wrist, or the forearm. Keep bringing the shoulder back and look over the opposite shoulder. Slowly releasing. Come into Virmadrasana 2. Turn that left palm to the ceiling, take your reverse warrior. Back hand to the outside thigh. Bring it round if it wants to go. And then go into 2. Then bring the hands to the heart center. We turn and we twist. Parvita Parsvakottasanna. Look over the opposite shoulder. Remember, if the shoulder's this high, it's going to be difficult to bind. So you can bring the knee down, the back knee down, bring the front foot in, drop the shoulder through, feed the hand through here, and then you can take your bind. And then you can look over the opposite shoulder. Back into 2. Take your reverse warrior, turn the front hand up to the ceiling. Reverse warrior. And then go into 2. And then from here, we go into our half moon pose. Left fingertips on the floor. I'm not going to do the left side because you won't be able to see me. So left fingertips down on the floor. So I'm still on the right side, you're on the left. You can take them off the floor like we did on the first side. Stack the body to the side, staying here. Flex the feet. In Dharma we normally point the toes straight away, but flex them, find a balance. Then point the toes. Then you've got the variation, you can bend the knee. And from here, don't come up straight away. Look up to the ceiling, look back, and release the neck that way. And then if you're coming up into your Natrajasana, 3 movements together. The knee comes up, the arm and the head. Very slowly, micro movements. The drishti starts to look forward. If you keep looking down, you'll fall down. And then we're going to slowly release from there. Let's try it from the front of the mat. Feet together. I'm facing you, but you're probably at the front of the mat. And then from here, left hand stays on left thigh. Thighs together. They can be really close together. They can rub. That's perfectly fine. From here, bend this. right knee reach for the ankle or the top of the toes. And then from here, keep bringing the leg up. Don't move this left hand until the leg comes up all the way. You're looking forward. Then you can go into your dancer. Then you can play with it. If you're going to use straps or take the foot into the crease of the elbow, the thighs close together. Remember, the strap has to be, put it in the foot. Or if you have a bathrobe and you haven't got one of those straps, you don't need to. You can just use a bathrobe belt. Fold the bathrobe into half and then half again. And then from here, foot goes into the strap. And you want to keep the arms really close to the ears so you don't injure the rotator cuffs. And bring the arms back this way. And then you can play. You can walk the hands down. If your back is very flexible, walk the hands down the strap. The objective is to catch a foot. Don't fling the neck back. Take your time. And then we slowly release. And then from here, back into Virmadrasana 2, left foot forward. And then from here, turn the feet in. And then from here, hands on the hips, and we fold forward, come into your forward fold. And then from here, if your back is more open, you can, come back up. If you're working with your drop back first, feet in. And then from here, if your back is more open, to release the back first. Doesn't matter if you did a forward fold, come back up if you want to. Or stay in your forward fold. So hands on the hips or the thighs, or use a wall. You bring the hands down the wall, walk the hands down the wall, go slowly. You're in charge of your back here. You don't want to come up and down too quickly. If you've got low blood pressure, you'll get dizzy. And if you have any historic disc injuries, be kind to the back. You can still work with elements of it, but you're not coming up and down too fast. You don't want to jar the back. And then you fold forward, you reach for the ankles or the big toes, and then you can bring the head down. If you want to work with your headstand like we did from the first, in between the sides, you can go to the front of that and go to your headstand that way, or go against the wall. Please don't jump in your headstand because you're going to injure your necks. And if you have a full headstand, I'm okay with you going into that. I mean, you can go into it. Please don't jump in that either. So from here, there's a variation for the full headstand if you've got it. You're either folding forward, reaching for the ankles that way, or if you're working with a headstand again, go to the front of the mat if you want to. If that's not comfortable from doing it for the side. You're going into a full headstand, head down, elbows in, walk in, walk in, walk in, knees together, come up this way. And come into your headstand that way. And then from here, you can bring the hands down. And if you've got a headstand, a solid one, you can try your pincher from here. Hands down and go into your pincher. Keep the legs straight if you can. And then slowly come back into your headstand. Slow it down. And then keep the knees in and come down that way. If you're in a forward fold, interlace the fingers behind the back. And then from here, you're going into Prasarita, turn the palms to the ceiling. Take your time. And then from here, turning that left foot forward. And then from here, come into your humble warrior. We'll do 2 more asanas, and then we're going to go into our relaxation. We started a little late, so from here, come to lie on the bellies. We're going to work with our bow pose, our Dhanurasana. So from here, just come to lie on the bellies, ear to one side, take your time. And then from here, you're going to bend the knees. You're reaching for the shins or the ankles if the back are tight, if the back's tight. And then you're going to bring the legs up first, and then the head up. You're not going too deep if the back is tight. Try to keep the thighs down onto the mat. And you can bring the feet a little closer together. If the back's more open, you can reach for the top of the feet, and then you bring the legs up, and then the head up. And if you have these straps, you have to use straps that are equal in size if you're going to use straps. And then you turn the feet around and you can use the straps if you're going to use straps. Take your time, whatever you're working with, just to release the back. Yeah, keep lifting up. And then you're going to slowly release when you're ready, ear to the other side. And then when you're ready, you're going to just roll over, lie on your backs. And we're going to work with our bridge pose to support the back and just to release it. So from here, we reach for the ankles. And we want to support the back here. And then from here, you lift the hips up. And then you can go into your bridge here. If you've got a brick and it's a cork brick or a wooden brick, or you have a yoga wheel, you can use one of those things here. Let's choose a wheel here. Sorry, let's choose a brick. And then if it's a foam brick, it's going to be very dense. You lift the hips up, pop this underneath the sacrum. And then if you can release the back this way, it's awesome. It should feel. If it doesn't feel awesome, don't do it. That's the key technique. You can bring the arms over, you can chill here. You want to work with your full wheel. Don't use a brick, leave it out of the way. Hands to either side of the ears, and you can come up into your full wheel. Come up on the tiptoes to release the back. If you have a wheel variation, you can go into your wheel variation. See how small animals are? My pups just moved into a basket, so they normally stay out of danger. Take your time. And if that's not right for you, go into your shoulder stand. Support the back or bring the legs against the wall. If you're in your full wheel, come down, try it one more time. If you're in your shoulder stand, make sure the back is completely supported. Take your time and stay there for a few breaths. Then you're going to go into your halasana when you're ready. Bring the legs over the head and go into your halasana. You can bend the knees to either side of the ears if that's right for you. Don't force the feet down on the floor. Full wheel, you're slowly releasing, bring the knees into the chest. If you're in a halasana, you're supporting the back completely, and then you're going to come out. You're going to go into your fish pose, a simple fish, by lifting up the hips, put the hands underneath, and then you can top the head down, and you can pump the breath through the nose, or you can go into any fish. If you've got Padmasana, go into your Padmasana. And then you're going to bring chin to chest and slowly release. We're going to do a twist before we go into our relaxation. So we started a few minutes late because I had to get a camera angle right, and I'm hoping it's okay. But if it's not, just give me feedback. We're trying, because I'm on the phone here, so I can always try again next time I'm teaching on Saturday. So from here, we're going to come to lie on the mat. Now, you've got choices. You can wrap the right leg around the left like this, eagle legs. This is great for the reproductive system anyway. And you take the knees towards the left. The twist starts on the left. And then you take the arms out. And this should feel quite nice. If you want a deeper stretch, release the legs. And then just bring this right leg over the left. And you're on the left side, and take a deeper stretch that way. Or eagle, whatever's right for you. And then you're going to slowly release. We're not staying here long because we did so many twists earlier. Left around right, and then we go to the other side and head to the opposite side of the knees, or you unwrap the leg and take a twist to the right. And you might feel your back gently clicking here, that's okay. And then slowly release. Then from here, come into your happy baby. Reach for the sides of the feet. Take your time. Keep the back down. Take the legs out wide. Then you're going to release the hands from the feet. You're going to squeeze the hands. You're going to squeeze the feet. You're going to squeeze and tense, squeeze and tense, squeeze and tense. Then you're going to gently release through the mouth like a lion. On the mat, you're going to squeeze, you're going to tense, you're going to squeeze, you're going to tense, you're going to squeeze, you're going to tense. You're going to release through the mouth like a lion. One more time, squeeze and tense, squeeze and tense. And you're going to release through the mouth. Now, if you've got your lights on, you might want to turn the lights off. If you need something warm for your relaxation, grab a blanket. If your back needs some support, put some cushions underneath the knees, and that will support the back. And then come back onto your mat, and I'll guide you into a relaxation. I'll give you a few moments. And then from here, let's find the spiritual heart. And see if you can find a light within the spiritual heart. And then from here, start to relax the body. Start to relax the feet. Make the feet heavy. so heavy that they're difficult to move. Relax your ankles, the shins, knees, thighs and hips. Legs are completely relaxed. Relax the fingers, front of the hands, palms, the wrists, forearms, elbows, upper arms and shoulders. Arms are relaxed. Relax the back, the sacrum, the disc and the vertebra, one by one are relaxing. Till you reach the back of the neck, the back of the head, the scalp, eyes, nose, ears, mouth and cheeks. The back and the head completely relaxed. The chest, all the internal organs, one by one, bring them to your mind and relax them. Visualize them and relax them. Back to the heart, finding that light within the spiritual heart, holding all the attention there. If you work with a sankalpa, something you're trying to bring into your existence, trying to manifest, start to visualize it now. If it's a doing thing, an action thing, see every part of it. Make sure if it's a doing thing and there's safety involved, that it's safe. If you can help others by doing whatever you're trying to create, see that as well. See every part of whatever you're trying to create, every intricacy. Hold it in your mind and then let it go. Sinking deeper and deeper and deeper into the earth, sending the breath to every cell and every pore, to every part of the body that needs it, to any areas of tightness or injury. Sink deeper and deeper and deeper into the earth. When you're ready, start to bring life back into the body. Either in the feet or in the hands, your choice. Bring the feet together, arms over the head, and you're going to take a big stretch. If you're going back to work, take a bigger stretch. If you're finishing your working day, take a baby stretch. Bring the knees into the chest and give yourself a big hug. And then gently you're going to bring the knees into the chest. And then roll over to the right side. And stay in that embryo just for a few breaths. push through the left hand very lightly and come up to your comfortable seated. Just bring the hands to the heart center. Let's seal the practice with 1 Om and 3 Shantis altogether. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you guys for joining this evening. Any questions, you can message me. I'm on the live chat at the moment, or you can message me on my Insta, the Lost Yoga Boy, and I'll see you on the mat soon. Well done. Thank you for joining. Stay home, stay safe, stay well, and see you on Saturday at 5:15 if you're joining again. Take care. See you. Bye, guys. Come on, Loki, come and say hello to everyone. Look, look. Come on, say hello, look. She's over there. Here. Good girl. Come get the treats. Come do high five. Sit. Come do high five. Sit, Loki, sit. High five. High five. Yeah, good girl. Here we go. Right, we're going to go. We're going to sign up. Right, come on. Let's go. Let's go get. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. See you guys. We're signing out now. Come on. Loki, say bye. Say bye. Say bye. Come. Good job. High five. High five. High five. High five. Come on say bye to everyone. Come on. Let's get you some dinner. See you guys.